Good afternoon. Welcome to video 8 of our mower cell creation. So far we've called a multitude of different programs. So if you missed any of these programs, again, refer back to video 7 and video 6 with the programming. So now what we have is we have the gripper, and now we have to pick up the pulley assemblies and place them onto the already caulked mower deck. So the first thing we need to do is set up some position registers so that we can able to pick 1, 2, 3, and also all these other items. So let's go to data and let's go to position register. And we're going to find position registers in the 20s because we're already using a good portion of things. So let's find, say, 22. This is going to be our blade 1 pickup. So we just go enter and we'll just call all these what they are, and then we'll come back and set them. So we'll call this one blade 1 pick, and this one is going to be blade 2 pick. So those are going to be our pickups, and then we're going to have number 25, which is going to be our drops. So we'll go blade 1 drop, 2 drop. Okay, so now let's go to each one of those positions so that we can record them. So when we go up to, say, blade number 1 pickup, so with that on there, let's double click the tool glide and let's make sure we're under parts. So here's blade 1 assembly, move 2. So let's go here, shift record, then let's move to blade number 2, move 2, go down to blade number 2 pickup, shift record, and then let's go to blade 3, move 2. Shift record. So now that we have those 3 positions recorded, let's go to the fixture, double click that, make sure you're under parts, click blade assembly number 1, move 2, and let's record that. Then I'm going to go to blade number 2, move 2, shift record, and blade 3. Shift record. So now that we have those 3 recorded, got to go back to this one and record that number 3 pickup because it did not register. There we go. So now we have all 3 of those positions set up in the register. So let's go to select and let's go create a new program, and this is going to be our program number 4. Blade, call this pick and place. P and P. Now, because we're moving, we do have to have motion groups. So let's just go into this, enter, enter. And the first thing we need to do is make sure that we are in the correct U tool. So let's go new instruction, offset frames, U frame number 4, which is our gripper. 4, which is the end of arm tool, gripper. And then let's add our frame right away, which is number 1. And then let's make sure our offsets are correct as well. So we just edit command, and then we'll insert, say, 20 lines, add my registers equal to position register ij, 3, which is our tool offset, 1, and then constant of 0, not 1, register equal to ij, 3, the y component we're going to set as 0, new instruction, registers equal to position register ij, position register 3, the z component, and we're going to set this equal to 200. Now that we have those items, we're going to do the pickup. So I'm going to actually add a remark here. Pickup 1. So now that we have pickup 1, we're going to move down to that position. So we're going to add movement. We're going to joint down to that position. We're going to switch it to position register number 22, which is the blade 1 pickup. Okay, so we're going to make sure that we are 200 millimeters above that. So let's go to the end and let's go the tool offset position register number 3. So now that we're 200 millimeters above that, let's come down to that to pick up. So we're going to go add move point, linear, and let's go down at, say, 200 millimeters, so it's a little bit slower, and we're going down to position register 22. So we're coming down to that point now. Now what we're going to do is we're going to call that program to pick it up. So that's the simulation program. So that's the blade housing pickup, and then we're going to linear up to the offset. So position register 22, and we're going to go up at say 500, and then we're going to go add that offset, tool offset, position register number 3, which is tool offset. So now that we have that, we're going to go to the home position. So we're going to go call program home. Now because we do not have a position register or the offsets, tool offsets here, this will automatically still remain with our tooling with gripper in hand. So it's going to call home, and then we're going to go to that drop off. So I'm going to go add move point. We're going to joint movement to our drop off point. So we're going to go choice, position register 25, which is the blade 1 drop off with the offset. We're going to linear down. We're going to linear down at 200 to that position register with no offset. And we're going to drop off that blade housing. So we're going to go new instruction, call program, and the blade housing drop off number 2. Okay, now at this point, again, we need to figure out when things need to disappear. So we're going to add a timer here in order for this to work. So I'm going to go new instruction, miscellaneous, timer, and we're going to use timer number 2. We're going to start it, and then we're going to reset it right away. So once we have it resetted, then we're going to linear up out of the way. Add move point, linear, and we're going to linear up to position register 25 at 500 millimeters per second with the offset. So tool offset, position register 3. So we drop it off, reset our timer, and then move up out of the way. Then we want to repeat this. Okay, so we want to do this for the next position and the next position. So what we can do is just copy and paste this. So I'm going to ECDM or edit command, copy, select, and we arrow up where we get that pickup, copy, arrow down, and I'm going to go paste. Just the logic is fine. Then I'm going to arrow down again, and then I'm going to paste it again because we have 3 of them, logic. Then I'm going to escape out of here. I'm going to shift up, put a line here in between. This is going to be my pickup 3 because I'm working from the bottom. Pickup 3, and then I'm going to go up to my pickup 2. There's my pickup 2, and then there's my pickup 1. So pickup 1, pickup 2. I'm going to add one more line in between here. All right, so pickup 2 then is we need to get number 23. And we're just changing all these to 23. Call home, which is good. And we have to call blade housing pickup number 2. Call blade housing pickup 2. Call home is good. Then we're going to joint over to 26, which is blade 2 drop off. 26, blade 2 drop off. We need to drop off blade housing 2. Looks like we're actually in 2 here, so drop off 2. Let's make sure that that first one was 2 as well. We made the mistake up here. That should be 1. Blade housing drop off 1. There we go. So now we're at that pickup 2, 23, which is 2, 26 is 2, 26 is 2, drop off is 2. Going up to 26. Go, and then pick up 3, and this is going to be 24. Pick up 3, 24, 24. We need blade housing number 3. 27, which is drop off number, and we're dropping off number 3. There we go. So now we have our pickup and placement for our blades. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is make sure that the timers as well. Okay, so we have timer 2 starting at the top. So timer 2 starting at the top, then going down, which is this is part number 2. Okay, pick up number 2. We want to switch this to timer 3 because we want to have all those different timers. So timer 3, and then timer 4 for pickup number 3. Because each one of these should have a separate time. So because they're going to be picked up and placed at separate times. So they're going to have shorter and shorter times as they picked up and placed. Okay, so once we have that blade pickup and placement, then what we're going to do is we're going to switch from our tool. So let's add this to our main program. Call program, and let's go to blade pickup. Okay, from the blade pickup, we're going to just call the home. So we're out of the way, making sure we're not running into anything. So let's call home. From home, we're going to drop off our gripper. Gripper drop. So we're going to drop off our gripper. Then we're going to grab this suction pickup. From the suction pickup, we're going to call to home, and then we are going to pick up our finished deck, which we have to create the program. So let's see this in action so far. Make sure everything is good. All right, so now let's do the final pickup. Let's go in here, select, let's create, and this is going to be our program number 5. And this, we'll call this finish deck. So finish deck. Inside here, let's make sure the utool number is correct, which is utool number 2. And let's also, while we're here, let's set up to make sure the frame is correct. We're just using the same frame throughout. So we're going to use our U frame number 1. Bunch of lines. And then let's make sure that our conveyor belt is also in the correct position, even though it should be, but just to make sure. So we're going to new instruction, in and out, digital out number 5, and we're going to make sure that that is the off. So off means it is gone outside. Okay, so if we run this, you'll be able to see nothing is actually going to happen. Okay, it's actually inside there. So digital is off. Now we're not too worried about this actually waiting until that happens, just because we know that it's there. It's just, we're just waiting until that happens. So we're going to go inside here. Let's add our registers now. And we're going to equal to position register number 3. And we're going to set the X component equal to 0. And then new instruction registers equal to position register IJ 3 2, which is our Y component. We're going to set that equal to 0. New instruction registers equal to IJ 3, which is our tool, Z component, which is 3, and we're going to make that 500. So now that we have that as 500, what we're going to do now is we're going to joint down to this position to pick up our final mower deck. So we're going to go add move point, and we're going to joint down position, And we don't know that position right now because we are not at that position. So we need to go to this position and put this into our registers. Okay, so I'm going to go to data, and we are going to call this the next point right here, which is 28. So I'm going to go inside here, and 28 is going to be the finish deck pickup. So I'll just go fin deck pick. And then we're going to call 29 fin deck drop. All right, so let's go down to this position. So I'm going to go the actual fixture, finish mower deck assembly, move to. Once we move to it, go to where finish deck pick, shift record. Now that position's recorded. Now for the actual mower deck drop off, we need to go to that conveyor belt. So conveyor end, finish deck. Let's go inside there, and let's go to motion, and let's bring this to the beginning. Test. So now we're at the beginning. Now go to the parts, finish mower deck assembly, move to. So now we're at that position. So go finish mower deck drop off, shift record. So now that we're at that position, we can go back to that program. So let's go back to the program, go inside here, go choice, position register number 28, which is the pickup, and we're going to have that tool offset 3. Then we're going to linear down to that position. We're linear down at 200, position register 28, and we're going to go down there with no offsets. Then we're going to call for our mower deck pickup. Call program, and we're going to finish mower deck pickup. And at this point, we want to stop those timers because we want to know when this should disappear from the time we place it to the time we pick up the finished mower deck. Okay, so let's go new instruction, miscellaneous, timer, and we're using timer 1, 2, 3, and 4. So timer 1, stop. New instruction, miscellaneous, timer 2, stop. New instruction, miscellaneous, timer 3, stop. New instruction, miscellaneous, timer 4, stop. So we're stopping those timers, and then we're moving up. So we're going linear up. Linear up at, we'll say 500 millimeters per second. And we're going to position register 28. And we're going to add that tool offset. So we'll come down, pick up, turn off the timers, and then move up. Then we'll know what time it takes for this to disappear. So then we'll reset that time. So now we're at that position. Now we're going to move over to this position over here, and then we will drop it off. So I'm going to arrow down. Here's my drop off. So I'm going to joint movement over to position 29, which is, so our position register 29. Here we go, which is our finished deck drop off. And we're going to do that with the tool offset. Tool offset, position register number 3. Then we're going to linear down to that conveyor belt at, we'll say 200 millimeters per second. And let's make that position register 29. Then we are going to drop off that conveyor. But first, before we drop it off, we have to make sure that that conveyor is actually there. So let me add a few more lines of code here. And so we're going to go our digital output, and 5 was our conveyor start. Oh, we need conveyor number 6. Nope. Let's figure out which conveyor it actually is. So I'm going to just go in and out and out. And we want our conveyor 5. We called it finished. That's probably why we're making the mistake here. So it's technically not finish, it's the end conveyor, so raw and finish. So I just was making a little mistake there. So I'm going to just go back to edit. We were right on number 5. So when it is on, we're going to be at that position. So on means we're at that position, and we're going to wait until that we're at that position. So which is number 10. So we're going to wait equal to digital input number 9, which is the conveyor finish start point, to be on. So it's going to warp to here, and on, and then we're going to place it. So it makes it look like we're actually placing it, but really we're just kind of making things disappear and reappear really quickly, because again, this is simulation and we have to kind of fudge it a little bit. So we're going to new instruction, and we're going to call our program drop off. So finish blade drop off. So once we're at finish blade drop off, we can linear up then. Position register 29 with our tool offset 3. And we can come up at a decent speed. 500 is good. Okay, once we are done. So we are good with that point. We should be able to run this and see what it looks like. Let's add this to our main program. Add call, and it's going to be our number 5, which is our finished deck. So we have our finished deck now. And then let's do our conveyor belt. Go to select, create, and this is going to be PR6, and it's going to be finish conveyor. And we're going to leave our group mask as 1 because we're going to have a motion inside here. So let's just go enter. And let's go new instruction. And we're going to make sure that we are in the correct tool frame first. So offset frames, tool, and we are going to use tool number 2, which is our suction head. And then let's go new instruction, digital output number 5, which is our conveyor belt, and we're going to go off, which means it's moving to the end. Then while this is off and moving to the end, we're going to add move point joint to the home position. So position register 1, which is home. Then we are going to wait, and we're going to wait until our digital in number 10, which is conveyor finish end, is on. Then it's going to exit the program. So let's go to select, and let's move up to main, enter, and let's go add move point, or let's go new instruction, call program, and our finished conveyor is the last program that we're going to call. So now that we have that finished conveyor, let's run this. Let's check out what the timers look like, and then we can modify the timers in order for this to work. All right, you can see how those didn't disappear there, and these are where the times come into play. So now you have to make sure that these numbers, so for a simulation, if I go to the finish or the mower deck here, so the mower deck needs to be about 89.29 seconds. So 89.29. Again, this is the starting point, so you may have to tweak this a couple times in order to get to that position. Apply. And then we have blade assembly number 1, which is going to be 29.36. Apply. Blade number 2 is going to be 21.34. Apply. And blade number 3 is going to be 13.25. Apply. And again, this is a starting point. This will get you really close, and you may have to tweak this maybe a half a second or a few seconds there. And then you can run it, and then you're able to run through each time over and over again. And now you can just loop this program over and over again, making it a smart program. So that is the mower cell.